welcome into Last Call. We've got a loaded show today. How about we start with this guy, a new set piece for our desk. Went to Baltimore over the weekend, Jake and I did, and we brought back an award for UIndy TV, Best Live Broadcast. There's a live sports broadcast that we did last year for basketball, and it was just a lot of fun. And we got the first place award on a national CBI contest, so a little bit of a shameless plug there, but I thought we'd explain what the set piece is here for today.
I mean, what else can we say? I'm proud of both of us. I'm proud of everybody who worked on that broadcast, and just happy to bring home some hardware from Baltimore. That's for sure.
It was a lot of fun, and the weekend in Baltimore was a lot of fun too. But that didn't mean that sports stopped, right? We may not have been here at UIndy, but there was still plenty of sports going on. Let's get into it. We're going to first start with bringing in a special guest and Logan Wong. Logan, thanks again for joining us. Logan here's a cross-country runner, and cross-country is doing some good things with a lot of potential for this upcoming week. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, thanks. So the men and women cross-country team have their GOVC championships this Saturday. Looking back at October 22nd, they ran in Alabama, Huntsville, University of Alabama, Huntsville. And on the men's side, they ran 10 out of 11 men ran new personal bests. And on the women's side, 6 out of 8 women ran new personal bests. So
awesome. It's
looking really good for them. Of the 10 men, 10 men ran under 27 minutes with 4 running under 26. So on a conference side, with Southern Indiana out of the conference and Lindenwood, we might be looking at a top 3 finish as a team. So that's very exciting. On the women's side, at Alabama, they were able to pack up, run as a team, which is a really good skill to have if you want to place high in a championship-style race. So in the conference, they're looking to be about the same top 3. And both teams are pretty much guaranteed to move on to regionals and compete in the NCAA Division II regional meet.
Tell me about you, though. And, of course, we just spent a little bit of time bragging at the beginning of the show. Feel free to brag. Tell us about how you are this year as a runner, how your season's gone, and how you feel this weekend could be for you.
Yeah, I'm not a big cross-country runner. I mostly run the mile and track. So the longer distances I kind of struggle a little bit, to be honest. But I've been feeling pretty good, and I'm looking forward to this weekend, hopefully, to put out a new PR and see where that takes me.
That's awesome. Best of luck to you and the rest of the cross-country team here at UIndy. Hopefully next week we'll be talking about how the success went for the team. As far as UIndy's men's soccer team, we covered the game yesterday. Logan, you and I were there, and it was a great game. They defeated Rockhurst 2-1. It was a goal that was scored within 5 minutes to go in the game. They got the final score in to go ahead 2-1, and it was just such an impressive game that it was such a treat to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big mistake from the keeper there, as you see on the screen. What was that keeper from Rockhurst even thinking to let that ball get far enough away that Yilmaz was able to corral it down and track it down and come together with a goal? It was a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure.
And he had a pretty impressive day, too, the goalie did. It was just that one mess-up, right? And, of course, I mean, he allowed 2 goals, but that was just such a major issue that he kind of stepped away from the goal and allowed that open shot, and it was such an electric game and just such a great atmosphere as well. It was so much fun to watch. And we had the broadcast on UIndy TV, so that was a lot of fun, too. And you can go back and watch that here on this very YouTube channel if you wish to do so. But it's good. Now they're going to move on and play the next round of the tournament.
Yeah, next round, they're actually going to Maryville. Maryville is the #1 seed, so they're hosting everything. They'll be playing #2, Lewis, who is a very solid team. I believe we actually dropped the game to them, or UIndy dropped the game to them last time out, but I'm sure they're looking to try and carry some of the momentum from this past game against Rockhurst into that matchup with Lewis.
Yeah, best of luck to not only the cross-country team like we talked about earlier, and Logan Wong specifically, we hope he does well, being one of our own, but also just like to wish good luck to the men's soccer team as they continue on. Women's soccer team, they dropped a tough game against 19th ranked McKendree yesterday. They did lead at the first part of the game. They scored the first goal, but McKendree's just such a good team that they weren't able to get the win. But for men's soccer team, we're definitely pulling for you, so best of luck. Let's switch gears and talk about UIndy men's football. They played on Saturday, and boy, they had themselves a good game. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, Missouri S&T looked decent coming into the game. I mean, they came into it 3-5, so you got to quell expectations a little bit for what they look like. But it was a defensive battle, lots of defense being played, but on the offensive end, I mean, what else is there to say besides Jaquan Buchanan? This is his second straight game with 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's just very fun to watch. He's stepping in for an injured Toriano Clinton, and he's really excelling in that role.
Yeah, and it's just been so impressive watching him. All 4 of those touchdowns came in the second quarter, so both teams scoreless after one quarter. You get quarter 2 and
will score. There's the run play that finally pops.
And it was just their money quarter. You see here we got
breaks a couple of tackles missed. Well
kind of
done.
set up Buchanan's run. And it's
4
pretty impressive that a lot of his
touchdowns
runs
last
like
week.
this year for a touchdown.
How about
they
4
weren't
and a half?
90-yard
On the drive whatsoever. Schulte on the tackle.
So much success.
I think Mike Brown got to it.
These 5, 10, 15-yard touchdowns.
Looking
and
for the
at a high
end
rate,
zone.
obviously, with those
Diving
4
effort,
touchdowns.
got a touchdown.
Now, how about that catch from Frank with the Naruto run celebration to end it off? I mean, that was in the throw from Conkling was very impressive. He put it right in the pocket he needed to, and I mean, Bentley laid out for it and really looked good.
Conkling really struggled in his first start, which, as you can imagine, your first start as a college quarterback, you're going to struggle. But he's looked a lot better these last couple of games. Of course, talent's not quite as good as Saginaw Valley State, but they definitely he's been playing a lot better, and it gives the Greyhounds some renewed playoff hopes. That they have Buchanan coming in playing well, Conkling coming in playing well. It's not quite the setup that they thought they had at the beginning of the year, but they could do some damage.
Absolutely, and then to play off that, Conkling. He struggled, like you said, but reps that he's gotten have really paid off for him, and he's kind of settled down in the pocket, and he's able to find his open receivers downfield, and the receivers have done a good job of getting separation as well. But he's really improved upon kind of a poor first performance, and I guess growing as a quarterback.
And we thought things were dire when the Greyhounds lost to Saginaw Valley State a couple weeks ago, right? Saginaw Valley State, they lost to Davenport over the weekend, so that's their 3rd loss in region. It's going to make things a lot harder for them to get into the playoffs. The Greyhounds definitely thanking Davenport for that win against SVSU.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of other football around the state, we're going to touch some Notre Dame. Of course, IU and Purdue didn't play, but we'll get to that right after the break.